People, hello, how are you? Hopefully we're all doing well. I'm Tom. This weekend we saw a fantastic card where it was headlined by Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol, but this isn't about that. This is about Skye Nicolson and her world-storming performance. It was brilliant. I said Skye Nicolson was going to win. I said Skye Nicolson was going to win by a points decision, so I was right. But what I was wrong in saying was Chapman was going to trouble Skye Nicolson because she just didn't. She just didn't. And that's no slight on Chapman. Skye Nicolson said going into this fight, she was confident. She said she was more confident than normal. I was thinking, yeah, you're going to say that. You're not going to sit there and go, yeah, I'm shitting myself. You know what I mean? Imagine you heard that Tyson Fury going into this fight was like, yeah, I'm not Tyson Fury because he probably will say it. But Alexander Usyk was sitting there going, yeah, no, I'm shit scared. I am purring myself. I don't want to fight him at all. Of course you're not going to say that. So I was like, I never really look too much into these interviews or face-to-faces or face-offs. I don't really care. I watch it. It's entertaining. It's good build-up. It also helps you make an informed decision. But I hold it in little regard to my predictions because I don't, you're going to say what needs to be said. You're going to do what needs to be done. And how much can you really read into these things? But she was right. She was spot on. She went in there and she did a job. She did exactly what she needed to do. And I've said from the start, Skye Nicolson, in my opinion, has the perfect style for women's boxing. Women's boxing, you need to remember, is 10 2-minute rounds. It's not 12 3-minute rounds. And that minute tacked off the end of each round, along with 2 less rounds, in my opinion, she has that perfect style to boxing. I don't think, I think the next 2, I'm sure, spoiler alert, the next 2 fights for her, in my opinion, or the next fight for her should be 1 or 2 people. Amanda Serrano or Alicia Baumgardner, however you want to say it, because I don't think anyone else gives her much trouble, and those 2 give her trouble. But the styles they have, that bring front foot pressure fighting they have, is really good for women's boxing because it's 2 minutes, not 3 minutes, and because it's 10 rounds, not 3 rounds, not 12 rounds, you can apply that pressure at a heavy rate pretty continuously, pretty constantly. You can apply pretty constant pressure for the entirety of the round, go back, recuperate, and do it again for 10 rounds. But, because it's 20 minutes, not 35, or 36, anyway, whatever. I don't think it's the perfect style. You can do it and it's ideal and it works. But the issue is, if you're not able to stop them and you're able to, you find someone that can, like Usyk, where they're able to just deal with it. Everyone goes in there, I'm going to knock Usyk out. That's what, you need to go in there. You need to go in there and bowl him down. Everyone says that. You need to compete, you need to knock him out. You need to apply the pressure and walk him down. Everyone says that, but no one's been able to do it. Daniel Dubois couldn't do it. AJ couldn't do it twice. And, Fury couldn't do it. And you can sit there and say what you want about Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora couldn't do it. No matter, you sit there, gave the blueprint. Go back and watch Derek Chisora versus Usyk fight. Gave the blueprint my ass. Usyk was pretty all right. I was never worried watching that fight. I think Usyk's going to lose this. The blueprint, I don't think so. Easier said than done. When you meet someone that's like that fights like that, can fight on the back foot and box going backwards and weather the storm, but still fights at a high pace, like Usyk does. High pace. I'll dictate the pace. I'll go backwards though. You're forced to apply that pressure and walk you down at a much faster rate. And if you can't stop them or hurt them enough as to where they can't outbox you, that's where that style is flawed. So it's a good style for women's boxing, a really good style for women's boxing. But for me, the perfect style is what Skye does. Box on the back foot at a really fast pace because she can hold that pace. Because it's only 2 minutes. It's 2 minutes over 10 rounds. It's 2 minutes in 10 rounds. So she can hold a really fast pace over that. And because it's 2 minutes, she's not really too worried about getting caught because you probably won't catch her. But even if you do catch her, she's not got to weather the storm for another 2.5 minutes. She's got to weather it for a minute and a half, half a minute, which tends to be all right. So she can apply a really fast pressure, box on the back foot, outbox you, dance around, and it gets her. It's that perfect style for women's boxing. But the kryptonite to that, in my opinion, is Raven Chapman style, Amanda Serrano style, Alicia Baumgardner style. And I thought that would pose her some problems. It just didn't. It just didn't. She stood there, boxed around her for 10 rounds with a smile on her face as she did it. And that must have been so intimidating for Raven Chapman. But she did it. And it was really impressive. I thought she'd cause her a lot more problems than she did, and she didn't. So what next for Skye Nicolson? I think the only logical answer, the only realistic fight really, is a bust-up with Amanda Serrano or Alicia Baumgardner. I'd like to see the Amanda Serrano one more. I don't think we necessarily will, but I'd like to see that one more than I would the Alicia Baumgardner matchup. But I think that's where we should go next. But Skye Nicolson is on her way to being the face of women's boxing, and that's a fairly strong statement. You've got, you know, Alicia Baumgardner, you've got Clarissa Shields, you've got Amanda Serrano, you've got Katie Taylor, and then you've got Skye Nicolson. She's in the mix, and she's on her way to being. She's not yet, but she's on her way to being the face of women's boxing. And if you keep putting on performances like that, you're going to be. Another thing I will say is the first ever women's championship boxing fight in Riyadh, in Saudi Arabia. The first ever women's boxing fight, full stop, on a Riyadh season card. What a way to open it. Top level entertainment. 10 2-minute rounds where she looked great, danced around her in the ring with a smile on her face. Brilliant. Really good. She's my favorite. Skye Nicolson, before this fight, was my favourite women's boxer. Got a soft spot for those Aussies, you know, Jara Pataya and Skye Nicolson, but she was my favourite going into it. And she's even more so now. And I'm really impressed. I think for me, that was the most impressive performance. That or the Fabio Wardley, Fabio Wardley one. Jara Pataya was seriously impressive, but if I'm honest with you, it's what I expected. I actually expected him to do that. And I didn't expect the stoppage, but once the fight started, it was like, okay, it's only a matter of time. Really, I should have expected the stoppage because, and I actually said I wouldn't be surprised to say Jara Pataya would go in there and beat him in the accumulation of punches, and that's what happened. So that's what I mean. It wasn't that impressive for me. It was impressive to watch. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like a shock, if that makes sense. Whereas the Skye Nicolson, I was like, wow, I'm impressed. I did not expect that. That or the Fabio Wardley one. I think the Fabio Wardley one, the reason why I'm not going to give it that is because as impressed as I was with Fabio Wardley, what was Fraser Clark doing? You can't let somebody like Fabio Wardley just lamp you across the top of the head 6 or 7 times, well, 5 or 6 times unanswered, which you can't. Whereas Skye Nicolson was just super, super, super impressive over the whole 10-round stint and thoroughly deserved to be on that card. But you let me know your thoughts, people, of how that fight went in the comment section down below. Let me know who you'd like to see her fight next. I think Amanda Serrano or Alicia Baumgardner. You let me know what you think, people, in the comment section down below. Make sure you leave a like, a comment, subscribe, people. You know how YouTube works. Peace.